Hey, welcome to our channel Life in Northern Virginia, where I show you the best places to eat, live, play, work, everything that you need to know about Northern Virginia. Today we are going to talk about the pros and cons of buying new construction in Northern Virginia. I've helped plenty of clients through this process, so I'm pretty familiar with it. Make sure you stick around till the end, where I share with you the number one thing you should consider when you're purchasing new construction in Northern Virginia. So in Northern Virginia, there are several new construction options that range from condos to townhouses to single family homes. And they go from tract builder, who builds spec homes, all the way up to that fully custom build. So whatever you're looking for, you're going to be able to find it right here in Northern Virginia. If you're considering a new construction, there's a couple pros and cons I think you should consider when you're going through the process. A lot of my clients are the same way. They start out with, thinking, should I go with a resale, which is where you're gonna buy a home that's already been lived in before. That's more of a traditional sale, I would say, versus the option of doing a new construction. So I help my clients go through this process as well, and I share the same pros and cons with them as I'm gonna share with you today. Pro number one for me is you just get into that doorstep, and it's kind of like when you're gonna go buy a new car, it's that new home smell. It just smells like fresh and clean. The paint is brand new, everything is new, nothing's been touched yet, and you were the very first person to experience that. I just think that pro number one is one that, I get excited about, because it's just like a shiny new object that kind of like a present that you open on Christmas Day. Pro number two is definitely going to be the floor plans. With new construction, you're able to really choose what type of a floor plan that you're going to have. In a resale, you're kind of stuck with what you have. You may be looking for an open space, but then you fall in love with this 1970s home, and they have a closed-off kitchen and a closed-off living room space. So really, with new construction, you're able to find a floor plan that fits your exact lifestyle. I had a client who was looking for, a home that didn't have a formal living room and didn't have a formal dining room. It was just going to be wasted space that they weren't going to use. So they went the custom home route because they were looking for something where they could fit it into their lifestyle. Be able to buy something that really fits exactly what they're looking for. You can also pick out all the finishes in a new construction home. So you're able to really design the home however you want. With new construction, one of the more fun days I get to spend with my clients is when we go to the design center and pick out everything that you want. Some people get really overwhelmed by this, so having somebody who's been through this process before, I'm able to really show clients, hey, I know that you said that you wanted your bathroom to be spa-like. I would go with these color choices to make it spa-like. Or you want to be ultra-modern, these are the type of finishes that I would pick if it were ultra modern. So it's kind of like being able to go into the room and then see all the options that are available to you and really be able to make the home truly your own. One of the added benefits to buying new construction is that you actually get inspections. So this past year, the year of 2021, when buyers were fighting over homes during the resale process, there were 20, 30, sometimes even 40 plus offers on a house. Guess what? If you're going to be the one that buys a house or wins the privilege of buying the house, then you most likely have waived everything to get to that point, to beat out 40 other people. So people were turning to new construction this past year because with a new construction home, you're able to get inspections. The builder is then responsible to fix the items that you're looking for in that. Before the drywall gets put up, I have my clients schedule a pre-drywall inspection with the inspector. It's a truly unique process to the new home construction, because if you're gonna buy a home that's already been lived in, the walls are already up, so you're not gonna know truly what's hiding behind those walls. So with a new construction home, you're able to get a pre-drywall inspection so that the inspector will go in there and be able to take a look at everything before they put up the drywall. And that way that all the beams are in correctly, that the wiring is there, that you don't have loose wires just hanging out behind the walls. Trust me, I've seen it all pre-drywall. So you have the added benefit of getting a good look at the home before the drywall even gets put up and gets hidden. In addition to the pre-drywall inspection, I also have my clients do an inspection before their final walkthrough. That way, your home is so beautiful, it's so pretty, it's new, but you really do need an inspector to go back in before you move in, test out everything, because with new home construction, one of the benefits is that nobody's lived in it before. So nobody's turned on all the faucets, nobody's used all the electrical outlets, opened the windows. So getting an inspection before you take it for final walkthrough is going to be helpful in having the builder fix all those little things that need to be fixed before you even move into the home, and makes your life much easier. Another benefit of buying a new home construction is you have a little bit more flexibility with timeline. If you were buying a resale, you would generally be expected to close within 30 days. So you would have to have everything done, settlement, all of your ducks in a row, money-wise and everything, closed in 30 days or less. In this crazy market, we were even closing in 15 days, which is crazy and stressful. I've done it before. Highly recommend that you don't do it that way, but it can be done. Whereas with a new construction, you do have a timeline that you still have to keep up, but at least it's not crunched within 15 to 30 days. It's spread out. Another benefit to purchasing a new home is that usually these homes are built in areas that, they create communities, because most home builders aren't building them on single lots. There are builders that do that. Depends on which one you choose. But usually they make them in these communities, so they're usually planned out. They usually have parks, they have swimming pools, they have a lot of amenities in these communities, and the communities also have, wide streets. It's just a little bit more of a comfortable neighborhood. So if that's the vibe that you're looking for, there are plenty of new home construction communities that would be able to fit that type of a lifestyle. Now that we've gone through all the positives and I've thoroughly convinced you to go ahead and buy your new construction, let's talk about some of the cons. The first con I want to bring up is that it's just going to cost more to buy new construction. Buying new construction costs more because you are the one that's paying the premium for all the fixtures and everything to be brand new. By taking on that premium, you are the one that gets to be the first one to enjoy the home. So, cost-benefit analysis, you pay a little bit more on the front end, but you get to be the one that gets to enjoy everything first. And then over time, as that home community gets built up, or as, especially in Northern Virginia, we're running out of land, as homes become more scarce, that's going to build up your appreciation, and then your investment will then override that premium. Another con to consider is, actually, I use it as a pro. I said that, your timeline is flexible. Well, in the same flip of on the same token, just because your timeline is flexible, maybe you want to move in faster. Well, unfortunately, unless you're going to buy a spec home or one that's already been built, with new home construction, they can take anywhere between 4 months all the way up to a year and a half, depending on how long that construction process is going to take for the new builder. This can be a big con for you because it depends on how long you're going to be taking out this process. I have clients who bought new construction and, halfway through the contract process, the building materials shot up. So, in order to move forward with construction, they had to then increase their price to cover that gap of the additional building costs. So it's a little bit more unpredictable as to what the cost is going to be, especially if you're going to be going further out in your settlement process, because there's a lot of different things that can go wrong, delays, materials, in comparison to buying a resale home, which you're going to close within, a short amount of time. You know what you're buying. With new construction, there's still a level of unknown, just because you don't know how long is it really going to take. Another consideration is going to be your loan. Because it may take up to a year for you to settle, and interest rates can't be locked in until you're closer to your settlement date. So your interest rate may be really low today. However, in a year, who knows what's going to be going on with the market? So the interest rate could go up. And at that point, you would then have to lock in at a higher interest rate. So just one of the other things to consider is the lengthier time of from contract to settlement. Another thing to consider is going to be location. So of course, builders are concerned with buying land at the lowest price possible. So that way they can maximize their profits, right? It is a business after all. They do want to provide you a good product, but at the same time, they have a bottom line that they're looking at too. So when you're looking at locations, usually new home construction is going to be in lots that are maybe not as desirable, or in locations that are a little bit further out where they have more land to build and it's cheaper. So something to consider is that with new home construction communities, they could be further out. Like here in Northern Virginia, most of our new home construction is out further west where there was a lot of farmland. So now there's a lot of developments out there. Willisford, super beautiful, has amazing single family homes. I really wanted to live in Willisford. However, what you have to deal with in Willisford is Route 50, and Route 50 is the one road that goes in and out. So it's not as convenient for people, but such a gorgeous community. If only the commute was a little bit easier, I would totally be living out there. Something else to consider when you're buying new construction is the fact that usually they're in communities, so they're a little bit more cookie cutter. Like I said, a builder, if you go with one that's more of a spec home builder, it's not going to be as custom. It's not going to be as unique. Usually they have a couple floor plans that you can choose from. They have a couple elevations, which is the front of the home. A couple different color options. So depending on how custom of a builder you're going to go with depends on how much of a unique home that you're going to purchase and how much of a custom home are you going to want to build. My last piece of advice, if you're going to be purchasing a new construction, and this is kind of something that I think a lot of people don't think about, and that is that when you're buying a new construction home, the builder is really the one that kind of runs the show. They have the product that you want to purchase, and so they're kind of the ones that call the shots. A lot of times people think that with new construction, they don't need to bring in an agent, and that, the home's already built and everything's already taken care of. It's new, so why would I need to bring on an agent? And I highly suggest you bring on an agent, and not just for my job security, but it's really for yours. Because when you think about it, a builder is looking out for him or herself, right? The builder is a business, like I said, and they're in the business of building homes for profit. So yes, at the end of the day, the builder does want the buyer to be happy because that's what keeps up their company's reputation. They have, a product that they want to provide to you, but at the same time, really at the end of the day, they're looking out for themselves. So for your best interest, I highly recommend that you get an agent who represents you through the process and who's able to point things out to you that you, as somebody who hasn't bought a home before maybe, or who doesn't buy homes all the time, may not notice or may not realize about new home construction, and also helps you through the process because there's a lot of timelines that you have to keep track of. It's a more spread out process. Typically, it takes longer to buy a new home. So you definitely need somebody who's going to manage that process for you, help you pick out finishes. That's my favorite thing. And also be the intermediary between you and the builder so that your needs as a buyer are advocated for. I hope that you've really enjoyed all the pros and cons that I've shared with you today about the new home construction buying process. Hopefully I taught you something maybe you didn't know before. If you did learn something new or you have a question, just go ahead and submit a comment below, and that way I'll get back to you with the answer. If you're considering relocating to Northern Virginia, go ahead. My information is below as you see it. Send me a text, give me a call, however you want, and I will be happy to help you and your family make the move to Northern Virginia. And I look forward to seeing you guys next week.